Hi, I'm Brooke Vines with the CoreConnect conference,
And I'm Tusef Mirza, the co-founder of CoreConnect Conference.
and we've been at Social Media Week this week in New York City, and we've learned a lot about all kinds of things, right, Youssef?
A lot of stuff, but there's been an interesting common thread that we've been looking into, which we wanted to talk to you about. So one of the panels that we went to go see was about digital content, in terms of the new era, in terms of how audiences are reacting to the digital content in different formats. And what was your main output of that?
Well, a good friend of ours, Johanna Salazar, was speaking, and she's got a virtual reality company called Two Goats.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they do that is so progressive is this really immersive kind of storytelling. So she thinks that you don't have to just to rush in to use the new technology and the new platforms, but she has seen enough data to know that she can really reach her audience if she speaks in this specific way through this experience. And it's through the Oculus glasses where you feel like you're in the 360 video and it's all around you. And they have these experiential displays that they put up at events, and it's this really engaging way of storytelling. It's very fascinating.
It's very fascinating, and I think that there seemed to be a consensus on the panelists that even if you have all these different types of formats, that you really have to go back and really make sure that the idea is the right idea that you want to communicate. It's not about the technology, but it's about the right idea that needs to be communicated, and then you choose the technology that goes with it. And that was really refreshing to hear with all these people that are totally into tech, that they've understood now to take a step back and really look at the message and the idea.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And she has an influencer, so they have a project that's coming up in the next couple of months where they've gotten a super fan for a particular sport that they're going to follow around. So that kind of segues into all of the influencer marketing, which was also a big theme this year.
Big thing, yeah.
Yeah, it was a big thing, and it was a big thing that they were saying that it's changing from the way that it has been. They said that the bubble was bursting, really.
Right. Well, so one of the things is where Carmichael Lynch, which is a consulting company, they were saying, a consulting strategy company, they were basically saying that it is at an all-time low in terms of how marketers are being perceived in the marketplace, in terms of just the audiences, and that even influencers, there's an issue of trust, because before, influencers used to really share what they would love with their fans, with the people that they were following, who were following them. And now it seems to be a little bit shaded, where they're literally doing so much positioning of the product in a way that feels really inauthentic.
Well, they said that 1 in 4 influencers don't believe in the product that they're selling. And I think that's what's really coming across, is that there's so much sponsored content that we, the viewers, don't believe it anymore.
Right, and that was the whole purpose at the beginning of influencer marketing, is that it felt that you could actually connect with the person, and that's sort of fading away. So one of the main things that they were saying was that you have to, the golden rule is that you have to maintain the humanity of it, of being human and being authentic and being real about what it is that you actually are trying to communicate about a product or an offering, but not just for the purpose of selling, because that doesn't work.
Yeah, and so they said that really where it's headed is for us marketers to use micro influencers, that it's not about mass gross impressions, it's about quality gross impressions. And if you use these micro influencers that are really active on whatever social media platform it is that you want to use, then you're going to spend a lot less money on creating content. They're already creating it for you, plus you have access to their entire audience. So there were programs and platforms and people that were at the conference that actually offer platforms that help you recruit who those micro influencers are. You don't have to go out and find them yourself. There's actually a tool to help you recruit them, so that if they are a loyal user of your brand, you can organically use them to promote you and not force it and make it inauthentic.
Right, so that's like the golden rule across. And then I thought it was really interesting. There was one panel that I adored. It was a panel that was talking about how we're seeing a lot of activism these days, since the past 6 months, with the Black Lives Matters, with March of Our Lives, and that how that is now impacting on how brands and advertising need to really look a little bit more deeper in terms of what they're communicating in order to connect with their audience. And this was a study that was done by TBWA. They have an internal sort of team that's called Backslash, and one of the main people who did this study was Amelia Hall. And she was basically saying that now activism is here to stay. It's not something that was just a blimp and it's gone. People are awake now, and they know they have a voice. And because of this fact, brands have to look into this reality. We're literally shifting into another world, and so you can't just say, okay, yeah, they're active, they're talking about what they believe in, but they'll go back to where they were before 2 years ago. That's not going to happen. So it's sort of a very challenging and interesting time.
Well, they have to take a stand. That was the lesson from all of this, is that brands need to go ahead and take a stand.
Yeah.
And even if that means that you're going to alienate half of your following, you'll develop such brand loyalty with the other half that it's worth it. And a lot of the brands are taking a risk, and it's paying off for them.
Yeah. And in all, was there something else?
Oh, yeah. Well, there was one really great segment that I liked about artificial intelligence and how to make your own AI app, which at first I thought I was in the wrong place because I don't program and I'm not in tech, but I stayed there. And I was so glad that I did, because I didn't even consider what all the possibilities are until I heard this incredible presentation. But talk about marrying technology with humanity. Apparently, the next Wild West in digital is that we can create AI features for things like Alexa and Google Home. So already you can say, Alexa, set my alarm. Alexa, turn off my lights. Alexa, play my favorite song.
Right.
And she'll do it. But there's only 25,000 actions that are in existence right now, compared to, if you consider the App Store and where that started before everybody made an app, there's 2.5 million apps in the iTunes store.
Yeah.
So they were saying that there's a lot of opportunity for us to come up with some kind of utility that Alexa or Google Home or whatever else comes onto the marketplace can use, and then you just download it like an app. So if you just consider whatever it is that you're trying to do, like for example in healthcare, hey, I need to refill this prescription, and then it's tied directly into your doctor. Or for restaurants, what's the daily special today at my daily restaurant, and it's already programmed in. Whatever functionality your app was already doing, you can make a voice command for that for Alexa. So what it's doing is it's just making the technology more relevant to you, so that if you have Alexa, she understands every word we say.
Right.
Which is a whole nother interesting thing.
So it's like a whole space of fertile ground for new possibilities and opportunities for people to expand on.
A whole nother dimension for marketers to create in. So I thought that was really fascinating.
Yeah, and all in all, we really enjoyed Social Media Week. We also felt that the theme that kept coming up over and over again was to make sure in all this technology that we keep talking about is actually related back on being human. And being that we're creating a conference that is literally on that, it was really exciting to hear that everybody's having this type of conversation now.
Yeah, that they were saying a lot of what we were trying to say. It was very, it was really exciting.
Yes. So we're super excited. Our conference is going to be happening in less than 3 weeks now. So you can come and check us out on our website, which is www.CoreConnectConference.com. And we hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.